New tonight, more than 50 people arrested, 60 cars impounded, and hundreds involved. CMPD says the numbers involved in aggressive driving and street racing is staggering.
And they say thousands of traffic stops and violations show the scope of what they are dealing with. Fox 46's Derek Dellinger is live for us tonight near 485 and Prosperity Church Road, one of the trouble spots that CMPD has actually highlighted, Derek.
Yeah, and if you live out here, it's pretty much no secret that there is likely some reckless driving out here, and we do know that there is quite a bit of street racing that's around here. CMPD says the problem is so bad it's gotten to the point where they're having to respond to it, and they have the video to prove it. It's loud, it's dangerous, and CMPD says this video you see here that was posted to YouTube is right here in Charlotte. And they say there's been a lot of it.
A lot of speeding, a lot of reckless driving, some spontaneous racing, which is differentiated from the prearranged racing.
Police gave us a look at what they're seeing and seizing. Dozens of cars, some of them performance vehicles, and all part of an effort to stop reckless and aggressive driving, but also street racing. They say they started with an operation out near 485 and Prosperity Church Road. CMPD says calls about the driving and racing led them to look into it in earnest about 6 months ago. In that time, it's led to 2,500 traffic stops, 3,500 violations, 60 vehicles off the street, and just about as many people facing charges.
There was not any particular part of the city that was immune from this activity.
CMPD says this operation to stamp out the reckless driving and racing is not over. For Hutch, she says the problems where she lives, she's about a mile away from 485, and it's something everyone around here hears, or something everyone wants to stop. And to drive home the point here, CMPD says that they have identified about 300 other people that were either watching some of these activities or otherwise participating in it. They say they will be sending out letters to them, basically telling them they need to be stopped doing it. Otherwise, that they could also be facing charges too. We're live along Prosperity Church Road. Derek Dellinger, Fox 46.
A really dangerous situation, Derek, and as we heard from neighbors, also a nuisance to the community. Thanks.
Tapping in with your boy here, man, Rubis_3, bringing you another video here, man. Hey, it's your first time tuning in. You know, some things you can expect on the channel, some car meets, got car information, some car reviews. We do mods, all that type of stuff, man. So if you like that, man, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We want you to be a part of the family. We want you around for the long haul. Please do that for your boy. We're trying to put this up to the next level, man. So go ahead and do that for your boy, man. That will be very, very, very much appreciated. For my returning viewers, thank you for supporting me and rocking with me the long way, man. You guys are the MVP, man. I thank you so much, so much, so much for rocking with me, man. So let's go ahead and get into the topic of today's video. You see the title, you see the thumbnail, man. It is legit a dark day in the car community for anyone in the Charlotte area, man. If you have not heard already, which I'm pretty sure you have, this is what happened. This is like some quick backstory of what is going on. This previous Thursday, May 6th, that if I recall correctly, Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department said enough is enough. Starting 5 a.m. that morning, they grabbed every tow truck they could get and went out to people's houses, arrested like 51 people, and seized over 60 cars in a drag racing hooning bust that they had going on for about 6 months. So what they did was they got wind, and when I mean they, I'm talking about Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department, CMPD. They got wind of some stuff that was going on, late night meets, where people were street racing and things like that. Now, I want to say street racing to say this. The street racing that happened was not on main roads. It was like in areas where the roads were empty, like a lot of industrial places where, you know, industrial buildings and things like that. But nonetheless, it did happen in the road, and people were racing constantly at night and all that type of stuff, doing burnouts, you know, hooning, what they like to call it. swinging, doing all types of stuff with their cars. Charlotte police did not go and bust these meets. They stood there, they let it happen. They built cases on everyone involved, from the spectators and definitely the people involved, right? The people that was actually racing and doing these things. They got tag numbers, cars, all that of people that were there, and let them build enough evidence and went out and got the people. When I mean got the people, 6 o'clock in the morning, came, knock on your door, there's CMPD there with tow trucks to come get your cars. Now the cars that were seized were a little bit of everything. I know typically Dodge, Mopar, they get a bad rep in the community, in the car community, not only here but everywhere. They took Toyota Supras, they took Mustangs, of course Dodge Chargers, Challengers. They even went as far as they took a Ford F-250. Now I don't know who it was who was racing a Ford F-250, but man, they came and got their person's truck. And the Supra that got taken that I saw was like a new Supra, like a brand new Supra. And came and got the car, and it's been all over social media for the last, you know, almost not a week, but close to a week when this video is gonna be dropped. At first I was going back and forth whether to speak on it, but it's definitely something that impacts everyone in a negative way, man. Because of that, I know Charlotte CMPD is going to be very heavily focused still and keeping a very close eye on cars in the area, especially modified cars, because that's typically kind of the cars that were involved in this whole thing. And speaking of, they got like a couple cars over there racing. Won't be me. I'm not trying to get down with that, man. I'm definitely on chill mode, and a lot of people's been on chill mode because of what's going on. And it's a sad day, man. Especially to the people that were involved. I know I'm not going to get into whether they deserve it or not. I mean, if you're in the car community in the area, you know at least one person that was impacted by what happened. And I hope that anyone that maybe watched the video that was impacted, I really hope you guys get your situation straight, and hopefully the judge is lenient on that and whatnot. But it does feel like they're definitely going to send a message. These people, the people that were involved, cars got taken. They don't have cars until court dates are completed, and it's up to the judge whether they get their cars back or not, right? Overall, a terrible day. I know some people gonna say they deserved it. Some people say otherwise or whatnot. We're not gonna debate that. I'm just stating just kind of what happened. I just hope the best for everybody involved. And I want to say, like, man, it really, at first, I didn't think it was gonna have a big impact on the car community, but I kind of seen it firsthand. Just kind of what prompted me to make this video. Like, if you watch my previous video, I went to a car meet Saturday night. It was a legit car meet. It was hosted by Jack's Wax. Shout out to them. You know, they sponsor your boy, the local store in Gastonia. They sponsor me, so shout out to them. They hosted a car meet. Legit, it was okay. It was sanctioned. It wasn't one of these pull up and come to this parking lot and chill and do whatever. It was a legit car meet, and that car meet typically is crazy packed, right? Like, there's like 2 parking lots. There's like a small parking lot right in front of the shop, which usually fills up an hour before the meet starts, and there's like a bunch of shopping centers around the back that also fills up. I went there. The turnout was pretty good. Like, it was a pretty good turnout, but it wasn't as much as it typically is. A lot of people were legit scared to come out. A lot of people didn't even want to put their cars on the road. They were just like, I'm not dealing with any car meets or anything like that, right? So, and I noticed that because there were still parking spots open in that main small lot. Like, typically, if you don't get there an hour before, you're not going to be able to park in that lot. Throughout the night, those spots still open. People were coming and going, and people that came like late were still able to sneak in and get a spot there. So definitely, the car community as a whole they're nervous. They're definitely nervous about what happened. I mentioned that CMPD, they were monitoring these spots. They had undercover cops out there at the meets, watching what's going on, getting down tag numbers of everybody that's involved. They even set up surveillance at these spots where this was going down to figure out who was there, and like I said, let it happen. I mean, prior to that, like, there's been a whole big crackdown on speeding and street racing and things like that to begin with. Even like on main streets like 485 and things like that, they increased police presence like over the last, like, I'll say year, to crack down on speeders there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was a family that passed away due to someone speeding on 485 or racing, what have you. So they have definitely been covering all their bases when it comes to these type of things happening in the city. And not only that, like, they're not done, right? What they also have done here, they have also sent letters to people that were there spectating and saying, hey, your car was there, we know you was there, and you need to stop or we're gonna take your car. And this is not the people that was actually racing and doing the burnouts and all of that type of stuff. This is the people that was there and just watching. Me, I'm not at any of those meets, like those late night meets where that happens, but I know people that also don't attend those type of meets and they still got letters in the mail saying they were involved by being present. And that kind of sucks. Like, people are getting painted as guilty by association. Like, I know people that just build their cars and chill, and those people got letters. I've seen something similar happen in other cities, especially Atlanta, where I forgot how long ago it was. Maybe it was sometime last year where they did something similar, where they seized a lot of cars from people that were involved in street racing and the type of hooning activities they talking about, like takeover and all that. And kind of like this sparked from a whole bunch of Dodge Chargers or whatnot, you know, going to the interstate and shutting it down and doing burnouts and stuff like that. Like, that kind of put it on notice and put it on Front Street to the point where CMPD said, we got to step in, we're going to stop this. And they put a lot of effort into doing so. And I mean, there's going to be definitely conversation whether they put too much effort in it and shouldn't be focused on other crimes. I mean, that's a whole topic for another video and whatnot. But they really went hard at trying to make sure and send a message that we won't stand for this, and if you want to do it, you're not going to have a car, right? So one of the main things I want to focus on is kind of like, with this happening, where does the Charlotte car scene go from here? One thing I'm gonna say, like, the late night meets where the donuts, the swinging, the racing happens, that's dead. That's not gonna happen. If you still want to be a part of that and do that, you are crazy. Yeah, you're crazy. Because like I said, CMPD has already put the line in the sand and is daring anyone to cross it. No matter what you're driving, they dare anyone to cross it. That's dead. If you're making content like YouTube content or put stuff on Instagram, doing these activities, again, you're pushing it, because CMPD has drawn the line and said no more. This is not going to happen in our city. I will say this though, this does not kill the car scene. The car scene can still thrive and move forward without that happening. There's, like I said, there's too many dope builds in the city for that to stop, you know, Charlotte's car scene to be viewed in that negative light, man. The legit meets that's gonna still happen. We're still gonna have our cars and coffee. We're still gonna have our meets at like the local detail shops, like such as Jack Wax and whatnot and whatnot. There's still gonna be other meets that's gonna happen in the city, but the late night hooning meets, those meets aren't gonna happen. Even if you set up a meet and say, hey, I want everybody to come out to this parking lot and chill with me, those meets gonna probably get put on like under a huge microscope, because cops gonna view that as a meet that could start that type of thing and probably break it up. So that's probably gonna be dead. But the Charlotte car community can still move forward from this in a positive light. The one thing that's came out of this is, like, CMPD does not want us doing this in the street or what have you, then give us a place to do this legally. And I was thinking about this, giving a spot to do this legally, like, that sparked some, you know, some thought from me, right? So there's two sides to this. It will be great that, you know, Charlotte said, hey, we're gonna give you a spot to do this legally. The flip side of that is a couple things. First off, we're in Charlotte, we're in Mecklenburg County, and there's already quite a few drag strips in the area. We have the most famous drag strip in America, Z-Max 4-wide, you know, racing there. Granted, it's not open for normal testing tunes and things like that, but we have that drag strip. We have Mooresville, which is open weekly. We have Shady Side up in Shelby, which is open weekly, if I'm not mistaken. So we got enough drag strips. It's just that typically they only open on certain days. So, like, if you want to go on a certain day and go race, you can't do it. You have to wait till it's open to do it, right? So what if Charlotte provided a place for this to happen where you can do burnouts and things like that? Granted, you can't go to a drag strip and do donuts and all that, but if the city provided that, how would that look? Honestly, the city has no obligation to give us a spot to do that. They don't. I know, like, Detroit has their area where, like, a swing pit where they can go to. I'm not sure how's that working out currently. I've seen many videos from there, but like I said, the city doesn't have an obligation to do so. There's a lot of things involved. First off, there's got to be money. Money has to be involved. Someone has to put up the money to have this happen. And granted, if there's a spot to do that, it ain't gonna be free. It won't be free. So that's the other side of it. If someone in the city with the money wanted to build something like that, they could. but I guarantee you, it ain't gonna be free for people to go out there. Like I just said, build a strip of like 1 mile, 2 mile long strip where you can race somebody, right? Build an area where you can do donuts and drift and things like that. And do it in a safe manner. Come in, sign a waiver, pay your money, saying whatever happens to you is on you. If you go out here, crack your head wide open, that's on you. You go out here, split your car down the middle, that's on you. You go out here, flip your car over, that's on you. And some people are willing to take that risk, but still, there's gonna be money involved to do so. Honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, if I had the money to do it, man, I would legit build one. I would legit build one and tell people to come out, but I'm charging people. That's gonna be my business. And I'm saying that not as I'm the only one with this idea. I'm saying that because a lot of people would do the same thing. I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people would say they would do the exact same thing. Back to my original point, the county has no obligation to give you a spot to do this. All in all, man, I'm gonna wrap up this video, man. I really hope everything gets back to normal. I hope like the gals and gals that involved in that situation, I mean, I hope everything works out to the best, in your best interest. I do fear that the judge could lay it down hard on those people and be like, you're not getting your car back. And that would suck, especially if you're making payments on the car and you still have to pay on the car and you can't even drive it for months. That would suck. I'm not sure how that would work out, but you know, I really hope the best for all those people. So let me know y'all thoughts, man. Has something like this happened in your city? Like, has the cops you know, laid down the law, say this is no more? If it hasn't happened in your city yet, and you have some wild meats like that, it could be something that happens. It's already happened in like some other major cities around the United States. So I do see that trend continuing. I do see other cities falling in line and doing something like this. Like these police departments, they talk to each other. They're finding ways to stop this from happening, man. So whether you like it or not, it's something we're gonna have to deal with in the future. But as I stated before, there's still legit car meets to go to. That's gonna be where people have to go now. These pull-up parks, these late night swing meets and burnout meets are dead unless someone is paying to have this happen in a sanctioned event. So I'm interested in your thoughts, man. Drop some comments below, man. If your first time checking me out, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel, man. Want y'all here for the long run. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next video. We are out. Cut it.